7 by 10 squares. So here I have this pen. I know what you're thinking, what is going on here? Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Elin and I'm here to show you my setup for my 2025 HOBONICHI weeks. This was a heavily requested video from my previous video where I unboxed my new HOBONICHIs for 2026, and I just happened to flip through this one very briefly, and there were multiple people that asked me to go more thoroughly through my system. As the title may suggest, this book has multiple purposes, and I have been experimenting quite a bit throughout the pages and trying out different layouts, but I think I came to a very nice conclusion in the end. So without further ado, as we first open it, there's nothing very remarkable. I do keep a small note here where I have my personal information in case I lose this book, so a potential finder can return it to me safe and sound. I have a small picture of myself, and I don't use my yearly overview to anything special, to be frank. I haven't just figured out how to approach this page other than, looking into the future, whatever day of the week a corresponding date is on. For instance, next year my birthday is on a Monday. Okay, this is a difficult one. I know what you're thinking, what is going on here? And I wonder about the same thing a lot of the time. So this started as a spending tracker on the left here, as you may see. I was pretty much just documenting how many kroner or Norwegian currency I spent each day, but I fell off that quite quick because it was hard to maintain, and I didn't have any issues with my spending, so I didn't see a big point in tracking that. And then here I had a big break. I didn't know what to do with this. I didn't have the time, the capacity, and then back in the end of July I decided that I would try to track my steps, just to use this page for something. But this didn't really give me a lot of insightful information, and I didn't really use these keys that I made. I did swim and lift and hike more than 2 days here. I was just not being very regular with this documentation. I pretty much just used data from my sports watch, and just about once a week I would fill in this data. After a while I just realized that this wasn't very helpful for me. So since yesterday I wanted to try a new strategy for this page, and I think I'm going to keep up with this for quite a while to see if it actually works for me. And pretty much from now on this page will be my cleaning list, or an overview of where I have cleaned in my house, where I haven't, so that way it's easier for me to see where I should clean next. For instance, vinduer in Norwegian means windows. When have I last cleaned my windows, wipe dust, or clean my toilet, these things that you aren't cleaning on a daily basis, right? Or by all means, go ahead, but I don't have time to clean these things every single day. So keeping track of them with these small keys that I have made for myself, I think that would be way more efficient and way more useful in the long run. So yesterday I did some vacuuming and I wiped some dust. Okay, so this is from December 2024. At this point in my planning journey, I didn't really know what kind of style I like, what I would use this page for. So it was kind of like a catch-all with appointments, with my shifts at the pharmacy, birthdays. I also had these decluttering days where essentially I was just getting rid of things that I did not need, and I documented how many things I got rid of. And by that I mean how many things I have donated to charity or sold off, to make space for the new year. But then after a while, I realized that I did not refer back to this page as much as I thought I would. I use mostly my digital planner in my phone, like the calendar app, to keep track of my appointments and my work. So this planner may not be a traditional planner in that sense, where I don't really keep track of my appointments and work stuff here, but I keep track of other things, which I will show you. Okay, so this is very different from the previous page where there are only pictures. So I decided to try this just for a month, just to see how much I would enjoy it, how much I would look back on this page after I saw a different creator online do this. And honestly, I fell in love with this type of documenting. This is from the time when I just moved to Oslo, where I have now lived for over 6 months, over half a year now. So I see like all these different days where I'm just settling in, you know, buying new stuff for my kitchen. And by documenting one picture every single day, I can have an overview of the whole month and with fondness look back at previous months. Like the books I was reading at the time. I was visiting a botanical garden here. Also, this is about the time where I discovered my favorite cafe. Here, I was grocery shopping and I was mostly hunting for food that was going to go to waste. So I had these like 40% discount fruits and vegetables that would be thrown out. And I was very proud of myself that I was contributing. And I look back at this and I see that I have kept this practice, where I once in a while would go to the store and see what kind of discounted or near expiration date food they have. Next picture here, I'm a bit more settled into my Oslo life. I had my boyfriend visiting me. Also, I was visiting home and working for a little while in the pharmacy where I used to work before I moved. I also visited my grandparents for some cake and tea. Beautiful sceneries. The thumbnail, or when I posted this video. This is actually a PET tape that I have cut out. This one I got in Japan. It's from the Snoopy store, I think. Next we have May. Norway's Constitution Day is actually in May, so I'm visiting again my hometown wearing bunad, or national dresses. Here I'm editing, planning my video, being really in my creative spirit here. Picnic with my friend. I also attended this vegan festival where they had these face painting and I was painted as a tiger here. I'm not a vegan myself, but I was willing to go check it out and it was fun. It was very nice to do something meaningful and volunteer as a guard, basically. This is June, my birthday month, Pride month, summer, a very happy month so far in 2025. I also have a vlog from this day where I got my nails done and basically had like a date with myself. On this day, me and my friend traveled to Spain together and we had a lot of fun. We had 3 weeks there. We were a lot at the beach, fruits, restaurants. So this is for July. No pictures here yet. I just tend to fill in the template in Canva every day as I take new pictures and then in bulk print them out and stick them in. It is not made by me. It is made by a different creator, and thank so much to her for sharing it for free for us. For the rest of you, I will also link it down below if you want to recreate a page like that. I find this very nostalgic and very sentimental. So these upcoming pages do not have any photos as of now. I did write down my working schedule, even though I didn't really refer back to this. I just wanted to have something here meanwhile, so it wouldn't be completely blank, which now I look back at it and it's kind of dumb. I should have just left it blank because no one but me sees this, or you, I guess now. Now that we have looked on my monthly pages, I suggest we look at the weeklies. Because I had already had my memory keeping in the monthly pages and I had my schedule digitally. I was a bit on the fence on how I would use the weeklies. In the previous pages, I sort of tried to write down like a few sentences every day from what happened, but yeah, that kind of flopped. Also, I was writing down appointments there as well, tasks there, work schedule, so I was pretty much duplicating what I was doing here, and that wasn't very helpful. For a little while, I actually resorted to regular journaling, pretty much. Just writing down my thoughts, making collages, making notes to myself, things I was thinking about. So I was pretty much using the weeklies as a common place. So here's another example on how I used the weeklies in a non-traditional way. I was feeling a bit more nostalgic and a bit more sentimental about my childhood, and I was just writing things that reminded me of my childhood, things I was eating, watching, playing with. If you pause this video and just read some of this, maybe you can relate to some of these things. If you were born in the 2000s, if you remember some of these games like Papa's Burgeria, or maybe you watched LPS Popular or had the LPS figures. Also, I was very into Wreck This Journal from I was young. So that kind of moved me into the journaling space, the Wreck This Journal. Here is another example of me doing some commonplacing. I was just ignoring the dates on the left. I just put down some washi to just signal that this is a regular journaling entry without a lot of structure. This kind of proves the point that a planner doesn't have to be a planner in the traditional sense. But after a while, I just took all of these things and put them in a different notebook, my personal diary or a commonplace book, because there's not a lot of space here, and especially because this is a regular weeks planner, it doesn't have many pages in the back as well. But then I decided that I would memory keep either way, that I would go back to memory keeping, but not in a sense where I would paste in pictures like here, but I wanted to have a sentence each day that would represent the picture or represent what I was going through at that time. Things I accomplished, was what made me happy that day. So that I wrote on this side, and I had just general tasks on this side, like a to-do list. Sometimes I would include small notes like the TV series I watched, the games I played, and the book I was reading. Actually, this is a very good book, Martyr by Kaveh Akbar. I'm sorry if I butchered that. And this is also the week I voted, so I have a voting sticker. So this kind of goes on for a couple of weeks, where I was documenting something each day here, had a to-do list, and also now that I have started university, I was having these small homework to myself on what I would be reading for the next lecture. So this is very general and like another to-do list. So it did work to some point, but I still did not know when I would be reading this. I just knew that I would have to read it this week, but it wasn't specific enough for me. So from here on, I decided to incorporate a different column where I have all my readings, what I would be reading each day, and when I would be writing my tasks that I have to turn in, with another like to-do list on this side. And this worked very well for me. I was still documenting something each day here, with enough space for just key things that made me happy or that summarized each day. And just like the previous page here, I also kept a small habit tracker. I kind of tried to do the same thing here, but this time I was color coding for each subject that I was taking. Social anthropology, we've got media, and we've got culture and communications. So those are the 3 subjects that I'm taking this semester, with just regular tasks with black. and I moved these daily entries into a small column here. So that way I will have smaller space for personal entries, but more space for my actual reading plans. But on Sunday, I realized that I need a bit more structure. I want it to be in small divisions. So I would divide it into these columns down here. Here I just have a small shopping list or like running notes, and again my habit tracker, which I'm not very good at filling in. Sometimes I will look at my habits and be like, oh yeah, I have to this and this, but then I would forget to mark it off. Well, but I guess it kind of does its purpose if I'm actually looking at it and doing it, but I do sometimes forget to check it off. This is my current week, and so far I'm enjoying this the most, and I will be doing this next week also. Similar to how I did it last week, where I have a running to-do list, now I have it a bit more structured, where I have these two columns for university-specific tasks or reading plans, and this third column, which is categorized as other or aunt in Norwegian, I keep it for my tasks. So I have this running to-do list, and in each day as I plan on doing them, I drop them in here. But also I have divided it into like a third of this box for meal planning. And this is because I tend to buy in big bulks, and I tend to meal plan ahead of time. So to keep track of what I have in my fridge, what runs out, what expires first, and what I should be eating first, I keep this running meal plan. So for instance, when I marked that I would be eating pizza with my dance group, I knew ahead of time that I would not have to make anything for this day, and like chicken and potatoes, ravioli, you know, stuff like that. And on the top here, I would put the day-specific tasks. And one thing I was worried about is that I wouldn't have enough space to write a daily highlight, but as you may see, I have actually enough space for that. Just one sentence, something that, divides this day from every other day. So I think that this would be my layout for upcoming weeks. And if it works well, I will keep doing this in the new year of 2026. Now, when it comes to the back pages, they are not very structured also. Here we have like all sorts of wish lists and sell/donate lists. Just a mega running to-do list. And as I was moving, I also made an apartment necessities list, things that I would have to buy for my new apartment. YouTube ideas, strategies. This is also the start of my book tracker. I have since then made a different one. For this specific spread, I am just using my HB sprocket 2x3 inches, I think is the small size. And I pick 4 book covers and I touch the collage button and I arrange them so there are 4 squares of pictures. And when I print them out, they come out in this small size that fits perfectly. It's about 7 by 10 squares. So I can fit 3 covers comfortably down here. So I have the kind of medium I used, whether it was audiobook or physical book, and the star rating. I also used the apps Goodreads and Fable mostly, but having it like this physically is also aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. So more detailed reviews are on those platforms. Here I just keep the star rating and I am very happy with that. Also because I do not have an ink book where I keep track of my different fountain pen inks, I have just sort of put them in this HOBONICHI Weeks. So I have my diamine inks as well as the different pens I have inked them with. So here is TWSBI Diamond. So as I ink my pens, I just fill this in as I go, like with my Kaweco student. Again, more diamine, my sailor ink. This is my only sailor. This is my only pilot. And these are my 3 forever inks. and these are my favorites. I got a small sampler set with the kakimori pigment inks, and I'm absolutely in love with these. If I'm gonna order inks in bigger bottles, I think it's gonna be either one of these two. I currently have my Twisby Eco in extra fine inked with this in the espresso colorway. So actually, to make it a bit more accurate with the pen body, I have mixed these two a little bit so it wouldn't be too yellow. The text you see here is with this ink only, but right now I have a tiny bit of this tototo color to make it a bit more brown rather than yellow. Also, let me know if you want a complete rundown on all of my fountain pens. I'll be happy to share some time. So I still have some empty pages in this week's that I am kind of saving up for times where I'm in need of a blank notebook and I don't have anything else. So I am quite sparing with these pages. And I know what you're thinking, like, why didn't I just get like a week's mega? But honestly, I can't bother with the thicker size. I just want something portable. So I'd rather use something different for running notes or just keep a notepad somewhere like I have back here together with my stencil. As you have probably noticed, these are stenciled with just this small Hobonichi stencil that I just got at our local stationery shop, but you can probably get it online as well. Here's just a funny sketch that I made as I was waiting for class to start. It was, I'm actually pretty sure that this was with my Lamy All-Star. So my plans onwards with my new Hobonichi weeks is that I will try to keep this weekly layout that I have going on here with my reading plan, others tab, my highlights, to-do lists, and habit tracker in this new book, as well as keeping the back pages for mega catch-all to-do lists, packing lists, also my reading journal. I really enjoyed this spread and this type of documenting my reading, so I might as well just keep doing that in here. I haven't quite decided what I would use my monthlies for yet, but I am also planning on keeping this again as my sort of cleaning list. And for the monthlies, I haven't actually decided if I want to keep up with my pictures here or if I want to transfer it into my new avec system. This also has monthly pages with just slightly bigger squares. I will probably talk about this a bit further as I get a bit more certain on how I'm gonna use these books. So I will probably make a new video about the avec specifically. But for now, it's either gonna be pictures here or it's gonna be summaries of the daily pages. Or maybe I will keep the summary in the yearly overview. I'm a bit unsure of this for now, so I will not say for sure. This was a small insight into my current weeks, my small plans, small strategies when it comes to my 2026 one. I will probably make a new video as I have established a routine where I break it down once again with a bit more certainty. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and please share your Goodreads or Fable account down below. Maybe we can become reading friends. See you next time!